So hi everyone, this is Justin again from the Achievement Squad, coming at you with the last part of our woven walkthrough. So we're going to cover chapter 5 in this one. We're going to show you where to get all of the collectibles and the outstanding achievements and related trophies. There is a full spoiler warning in effect because there will be cutscenes and dialogue in this video. And before we jump in, just wanted to give a big shout out to the guys over at Alter Ego Games for their support. This has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for all your time and support whilst we've been making to these videos. So Matt, thank you to you and your team. We much appreciate it. So to get started, you will spawn in this area. And the first thing you want to do is you want to take a little bit of a left, follow the bank around, and you will find a scannable pattern which is called Sand Fashion. This is the first of 29 patterns in this level. Now, we now need to chase a meerkat. So at the top of the hill you just see him poking out of a hole in front of you. You want to chase that guy in the same way that you did with the mole back in the cliffs level. So you're going to chase him quite a long way. So if you've got wings on, this will make it a little bit faster. You want to chase him and he'll keep popping in and out of the holes. You want to follow the path. He appears mostly along the main path at the best of this. When you start to get to near the top, he will appear over in the corner straight ahead of you. Once you've scared him back into the hole for this one, take a left. He goes down the hill this time. Once he's at the bottom of the hill, you want to take a right, and he is then there. He will throw out his acorn and over the cactuses behind him. But we're going to leave that for the minute. We're not going to grab that one just yet. We want to backtrack to the sewing machine, and we want to equip our legs that allow us to stomp on the floor. We want to equip a standard head that is not one that allows you to whistle. And at this time we can also equip the Sand Fashion skin in preparation for us to meet the snake later on. Okay, now that you're looking fabulous, you want to make your way back to the entrance of the level. So fly on down, and we are going to get our second pattern, which is actually inside a cactus, which is the plant slash clam equivalent of the other collectibles. And it just sits within these kind of grass area just here. Stomp your foot and give the thing a scan to get the next pattern. Once you've done that, you want to head back towards where you saw the meerkat throw his acorn away. Okay, so once you reach that section, you want to head down the hill, and then you want to take a right and make your way all the way up to the top. Once you're at the top, you can actually scan the acorn to get the next collectible. So this pattern is called ecru. At least I think that's how it's pronounced. Probably, maybe not, I don't know. So once you've done that, you want to go down the hill, and you're going to come across more meerkats, and they're jumping in and out of their holes. You'll need to scan the meerkat to get the next pattern. So make your way a little bit further in, and you'll see an option to shout at the meerkats. Shout at the meerkats and he will pop out of the hole, and that will give you the opportunity to scan him. This will get you the pattern Cognac, which is 4 out of 29. Once you've got this, you want to head over to the hills on the left hand side here, and we're going to go after the first blueprint of the level. Now make your way around the sides. You'll see a bunch of red switches on the floor. That's where you want to be heading to. So you can see the blueprint machine straight ahead. You take a left here and you follow the side of the mountain around. For some reason I decided to walk up, and that doesn't actually get me anywhere. So I apologise that you have to watch me wobble around. And we want to stomp on these bottoms to get the actual puzzle sorted. So stamp on the middle one as many times as you can to take it all the way up. Once you've done that, you want to head over to the left or the right button, it doesn't matter which one, and you want to stomp on that button. This will push this one up to the middle and lower the middle one down. Once you've done this, you want to go across to the button on the right and you want to do the same thing, and this will set all ledges into the same place. Now just to your left there is a sewing machine, so make your way over to this one, and you're going to want to swap your stomping legs over to a set of jumping legs. Okay, so now that you got jumping legs on, you want to make your way across to the actual top area of the cogs, and you want to cross over to the other side. And on the other side you will find a blueprint machine, so make your way around. There's a little step where you can hop up. And for you, anybody that is just joining us for this video, this is very much a Guitar Hero style kind of mini game. You want to plug in glitch, and what's going to happen, you're going to have to align the pointers on the side with the dots on the screen. You can see the series of buttons that you need to press to adjust the position of the pins to make sure the dots are getting hit. Once you've hit enough of these, you will unlock your first blueprint of the level. This is blueprint number 1 out of 3 for this area. Okay, now that we've got that one, we want to head back down to our friends the meerkats. And once you're in the meerkat field, you want to head all the way over to the other side. You'll eventually come across another situation where you can jump up. You'll also spot a cactus that you can scan on your left. You won't be able to get this one just yet until you get your stomping legs back. So follow the path down, and when you hit the bottom of the path we want to take a left, and we're going to go along the wall and we're going to find a very hidden collectible. Now in this section, be careful not to go too far forward, because if you do, you'll get caught by a spider. As you're coming up towards the end, you will find the collectible, the pattern called Tangerine, which is on the wall. This is number 5 out of 29, and it was very difficult to spot this one. Once you've done that, we want to backtrack a little bit, so we're going to make our way all the way down to the far end, and there's going to be a slope that you can go up, and there'll be another 2 patterns that we can scan. One is on a set of rabbits, and the other is on the wall. Okay, so once you're in this area, scan the rabbit and you will get pumpkin, and then as you can see straight in front of you there's a patch on the wall, and this will give you fuchsia, or fuchsia. I apologise about my pronunciation for this one, fuchsia or whatever. Once you've done that, just beside these cactuses here there is a very small ledge that you can fly along, so it's very well concealed. Follow this ledge all the way around and eventually you will come across a prison exit. So keep going down and very well merged into the floor, into this sand. This is camouflaged, which we'll tell you a bit more about later. Scan this one to get something called stuffing. This one actually plays a critical part. Hop onto the stitching machine, and now this time you want to change your legs over to the stomping legs, and we want to backtrack across to the rabbits. Okay, so once you've passed the rabbits, you want to go down the hill and you want to stay on the left hand side and keep following it. And as you get to the top on the right hand side, you'll eventually come across a cactus where you can stomp and you can scan. This will give you pattern number 9 and it will give you chili. Once you've done this, we want to backtrack to the prison area where we scanned the stuffing and used the sewing machine to get your stomping legs. So fly back down the path where you came from. Once you hit the bottom of the hill, you're going to need to take a right and you want to continue to the end, and then you want to take a left to go up past and find some rabbits. Once you're at the rabbits, you want to go to the right and just past the cactus you'll be able to find that small ledge that we were on earlier, and you want to follow that around towards the prison.
This place is desolate.
Now once you've done that, you want to make your way down the actual hill itself, and at the bottom of the hill you want to take a right and you'll find your first cave. So fly on in, hit the left trigger and get the bug to light up the room for you. This is cave number 1 out of 3 for this level. Once you've done that, you want to make your way down the actual main path, and as you're going down this main path, eventually you will find another cactus that can be scanned and stomped just here on the left hand side. So stop up, stomp your foot, scan away, and this is the 10th collectible in this chapter. Now that we're done with this one, we want to continue forward a little bit, and we're going to make our way into a bit of an area with a puzzle. So we are going to get hold of that scorpion. Make your way up to the top of the ramp. You'll see a button just to your right hand side. You want to stomp down on that button, and eventually our friend the scorpion will show up and you'll be able to hop onto his back. Okay, now that he's here, there is a drawbridge that's going to extend. You want to go onto his back and you want to plug in glitch to the scorpion. Now you're going to solve a puzzle here, and you will do this puzzle a couple of times. It gets faster as you're doing this as well, but you'll get this little spool that's spinning around, and you can see that there's wheels in the middle. You've got one red column, one black column on each wheel, and you need to make sure the diamonds are in the correct place. So they need to be color coordinated. So as they go by, you'll tap the button and you'll move them into the right place. So this is randomized, I believe, every time. It's never the same. You just pretty much have to point the pin of the scorpion at the right location, tap the button, and you'll move the diamond over to the right location. Once they're all in the right spot, this will finish the puzzle.
That did it. By using the scorpion's tail as a repairing tool, they had returned a sense of order to the spool. The machine sent out sparks to the moon's floating construction and pulled it into the desert as the scorpion awaited further instruction. This was what they had come for, right?
Once the cutscene's over, make your way over to the button on top of the scorpion's head, stamp on it, and he will take you to the next stop. Okay, now that we're at our destination, we're going to want to make our way down into this area here. And as you're going down, you will see on the left hand side a hill with lots of cactuses on it, and in the middle of this, which is very difficult to spot, there is a cactus that you can stomp and scan. Now that you have this one, make your way over to the green section right next to the aloe vera plants. You want to follow that wall around and you will find the pattern called carrot. Scan this one to pick it up. Take a look to your left and you want to fly into this grassy area just here, and you want to follow the wall just around, so on the left hand side, and eventually you'll come down to a sewing machine. You're going to want to use this one, so we're going to need to make some adjustments to Stuffy. Plug in glitch, and this time around we're going to want to switch up some of his arms. So you want to give him the arms that allow him to push stuff. You're going to want to equip the legs that allow him to jump. And then we want to equip also a bear claw in the other hand. Now we have to ditch our wing for a little bit, but this is the better way to approach this because you'll be carrying more stuff. You won't be as quick, but it is effective. So once you've done with the machine, hop off, and you want to make your way backwards a little bit. You'll eventually find one of the blocks that you can give a falcon punch to. So make your way around to that block and you want to give it a push forwards. Once you've moved the block out of the way, and the purpose of moving that block is to stop an armadillo that is going 10,000 miles like Sonic the Hedgehog around this area. He's rolling around like crazy. Make your way down past the sewing machine where you've just adapted Stuffy, but you want to stay to the left hand side, and eventually you'll come to an area where you can jump up. Now once you're on the top part, don't go to the right, go to the left, and on the very end of this peninsula you are going to find your next pattern that you can scan. Now that you have this, you're able to head back down into the main area. So hop on down, and we're going to go push the next block in a second. So head down, but this time just before we push that block, let's take a right. We want to go back to the sewing machine just to make some adjustments. We need to switch back to the stomping legs as there are plants that we need to open up. Now that you have these, hop off the sewing machine and take a left, and you want to follow this pathway all the way down, and when you get to the end you will find another block. Head to the other side and you want to push that one over. Once you've pushed that over, turn around and you want to make your way towards the trees, and in the corner we will find another patch that we can scan. So make your way around the trees, give this one a scan. Sorry, it's a plant. Stomp and scan this one. This will give you the next collectible. This is grape, 14 out of 29, and we want to follow the path all the way around to the next scannable plant, which is on the left hand side, just on the other side of the hill. Now that we have this one, we want to go after our first memory of the level.
Colours still survive.
So head back towards that front area, but this time hug a left around the inner mountain part, and eventually you'll come to a path that you can walk all the way up. Once you're at the top, you will find the memory that you can plug in glitch to. This is number 1 of 5 in this level.
The moon heart. Glitch now understood. It sang machines its song that drove them on and on, giving function and life in conjunction as a hive. Without, they would just do what they did, without reason, performing basic functions only, committing their treason. If the world was made whole, the moon's personality would again take control. And that would fix everything, right?
Once you've done that, we want to make our way back down the hill, and we want to stay hugging the hill but going around it in a different direction this time. So head down to the bottom, stay on the right hand side and you'll spot another walkway into this mountain that goes onto sand eventually. For those blocks that we rolled over earlier, you actually move the armadillo into this area, and then the armadillo becomes scannable. Originally earlier, if you'd seen him, he is moving too fast for you to do this. Okay, and then we have to go back around the mountain again. I apologize for that. So hang a right, and you want to go all the way around to the other side, and eventually you will come across a pile of cogs on the floor. You want to use your bare hand to pick that up. The reason why I didn't get it earlier is because I've noticed that sometimes the cogs will disappear from your inventory after a short period of time.
Careful now. No room for errors.
Now that you have this one, we are going to go backtrack towards the Scorpion station, and we're going to plug in our cog to the station itself to start switching on the next spindle puzzle. Okay, so once you arrive in this area, you want to head up to the wall and you want to hold down your right trigger, and you want to make sure that you're actually facing the wall because he will drop it on the floor if you're not careful, and plug in the cog.
Started turning, generating more power as it picked up speed. They would need to use the Scorpion's tail if they were to.
And once you've done that, you want to make your way back up onto the Scorpion station, and we will be solving the second spindle puzzle that you are required to do to complete the level. So make your way on over, plug in glitch, and you will need to make sure that the diamonds are on the matching background color.
This place is desolate. With the second spool now churning its jolting rays, they saw the moon pulled further into place.
And now we need to move ourselves onto the next section. Stomp on the button on the scorpion's head to proceed forward. Okay, now that we've arrived, we are going to head over to the sewing machine at the new station. Now, I apologise for the dodgy cut here. I made a bit of a mistake with some of the pieces I needed equipped. So, what you'll actually need to have equipped to make sure you can go forward, you need a cat claw. I recommend having a wing too, which will help you move a little bit faster across the area. I say you will also need the skull of the bird that can sing too. Now I apologise, it's because I went ahead into the area, and you'll notice, if you'll notice in the next clip, that I'm actually using different parts, but this is to make sure that you guys go into the area with the correct part. So once you've done that, you want to make your way down the ramp, and at the bottom of the ramp you will see a whole bunch of lizards running around, and there's going to be another cut here because I absolutely sucked at actually stopping these lizards. To stop a lizard, you need to stomp your foot and he will stand still, allowing you to scan him. I just ended up running around for a good 10 minutes and completely failing at this. But eventually, once you get it right, you'll see here it will stop and you'll be able to scan it to get the next pattern. Once you have that one, just kind of look towards the wheel that is just in the area in general, and you want to make your way over to past these dead trees. And there's a slope just to your left here. At the bottom of that slope you will find the next scannable cactus. Once you have that one, make your way up the hill, and then on the left hand side you're going to find another patch. Scan this one here. Once you've scanned this one, you want to make your way straight down the path a little bit further on ahead, and you will come into a cave. So fly on down. So for some reason I decided to have a little bit of break, but fly on down and go into the cave to get cave number 2 out of 3 in the level. So once you've exited your cave, that cave, head down the walkway section and you're going to make your way into the very far corner. Now you'll see this thing that's like a steampunk kind of style machine, and on the front of this there is a switch that you want to hit. When you hit that switch, that'll actually open up the top and it will make the insects move the boulders blocking the main path out of the way for you.
This place was beautiful once. It still is.
Okay, so now that the pathway is clear, you want to fly on down and you want to go around these cactuses and you want to fly into this area. Now there is a high chance that you can do this without getting caught, but I get caught every time. As you can see, there is a patch in the middle. Go forward and you want to scan this one. As you can see, I try my best to move out of the way and not get caught, but I did suck at this part too. So scan it, and you'll get yourself the next pattern. This is 20 out of 29. Now in my case I get caught, so I'm going to show you what happens when you get caught. You get thrown in prison. Literally. You don't get eaten, you get moved to prison. Now when you're in a prison it's very straightforward to escape, so you need to exit the room that you're in. You either take a left or a right, depending on what you've got equipped. In my case I just needed to stomp and the next door would open. The second door to get out of here, you want to point Glitch's light at this blue icon here and it will power the door up. Follow the path around. Now to get out of this room you've got one of the two doors. The one on the right you need to keep shouting at the bug on the wheel for. But because I've got this particular head I need to mimic the sounds of the stereo system here. Once you've made it through those doors you can actually leave the level and it won't actually return you too far away. So once you come out you're going to be pretty nearby where you were just a second ago. So you're actually right by the steampunk rock storage system. So once that's happened we're going to do a bit of a backtrack, head back over to the main platform and we're going to swap out the cat claw for a bear claw.
The desert was quiet and serene once.
Now I also equip another hand here. There is a hand from this particular character. I don't know what he's meant to be, but this one actually allows you to push and punch the buttons at the same time. So once you've done that we're going to make our way back over to the sandworm trap, but we're going to go across the sandworm trap and on the other side you're going to find a set of cogs that you can pick up to use for this puzzle here. Okay, so once you're at the sand trap, head across this ridge because it's a little bit safer than going through the middle of the sand. And then you'll see these piles of cogs. Pick up those cogs. And once you've got one of those cogs, we are going to backtrack again. We're going to go head back to the station, and to the right of the station there is a place where you can plug in your cog to initiate the next spindle puzzle. Okay, so plug in your cog, make sure you do it right in front of it, otherwise you can actually throw your cog away by accident. And you want to look at the actual station itself. So in front of you, you will actually see that the answer to the problem is on the wall, and you need to make sure that your actual pieces that you switch this turn thingy to is correct to what is on the side of the station. So in this case you want the blue thing with rain, and then you want the red box with squiggles coming off the side. And then on the last one, you want to keep turning it around until the puzzle solves itself.
Even in the face of all this, there is still life in this desert. With the power on, the spool started turning, generating more power as it picked up speed. They would need to use the scorpion.
Okay, once that's done, the spindle will start kicking off above the scorpion again. You want to make your way up to the spindle and you want to plug yourself in like before, and you want to make sure that the diamonds are lining up to the backgrounds.
Oh, I can't watch. Three beams were now alight. The next spool would be the one to set things right. Or so Glitch surmised. Even he did not know how all this was devised.
Okay, now this time around we're not going to move the scorpion ahead. We're going to actually go into the area again, and we're going to head over to our sewing machine, and we're going to want to mix ourselves up again. Stuffy is definitely becoming an abomination on my end, and we're going to give him a wing. This wing is going to allow him to go forward and move with speed across the next area. So once you've got that equipped, you're going to hop off the machine and you're going to go past the worm sand trap again, but this time we're going to go further past it.
The desert was quiet and serene once.
Okay, up onto the girders, and you want to follow the girders around, and you can see very well camouflaged into the wall the next pattern you can scan. Once you've bagged yourself this one, you want to make your way to the other side. So this is collectible 21 out of 29. Go across this side here, and you want to make your way up this hill. I get a little bit stuck for some reason, but move on up. Now to your left you're going to see a bug. This bug is fascinated by the sound of a pipe, so the wind coming down the pipe. You want to observe the colours coming through on the notes, and you want to mimic those colours. They're not the same each time, they do change. Once you've memorised that code, you want to go up to the top of the hill. And then you want to hang a left, and when you get to the top you'll be able to whistle. So when Glitch prompts you, you want to whistle the code that you saw coming from the pipe downstairs a second ago. Now that you've done that, fly down the slope, and on your left hand side you're going to find the next scannable plant. Once you've done that, you want to head back to where you saw the bug, and you're going to go get the blueprint number 2 out of 3 for this level. As you see, we're also getting close to the end of the patterns. That's number 22 out of 29. Once you get all of the patterns, you actually get 2 achievements this time around. One for finding all of the patterns in a single playthrough, and the patterns in this level. So head down, make your way across to the blueprint machine, plug in Glitch, and complete the minigame. Okay, now that you're done here, fly on over, hang a left, and make your way up the hill. You want to stay on the right hand side, and eventually you can kind of continue forward. So make your way up, and you will be at the next station, and at the top of the next station you're going to find memory number 2 in this level. See right ahead of you on the other side. Fly around and plug in Glitch to get some more information on his backstory.
Machines brought order, that was their goal. If restored their intelligence, that would be their role. That should be a good thing, but something was missing. A thing he wasn't seeing, or conclusion dismissing. The moon had from this world been ejected, Because it had somehow been affected. Glitch was connected, but how?
Okay, so once you've got that memory, I have a bit of a funny cut here because I went down into the section with the wrong parts equipped to Stuffy. So, yeah, I'm a bit tired. Apologise. Plug in Glitch, and this time around we'll want to grab yourself a cat claw. So, through the menu, cycle through, click on the cat, and grab the cat claw. And I recommend keeping a wing as well to keep things going a little bit faster. Now, you'll notice in the next section I have the wrong parts equipped, but you guys will have the right parts equipped, so please don't judge me. Head down the slope, and you want to hang on to the left hand side. As you come through here, there is a very small cactus amongst the bigger cactus, and you want to stomp your foot down, and you want to give that one a scan for the next pattern. Okay, now we're going to bag ourselves the achievement Fashion Idol, which is very cryptic in the description. Fly on down and see ahead of you another snake. So if you've dressed as the snake has requested you for every snake in each level, you will bag yourself the achievement.
Oh, that came out of the blue. Now, Snake, keep an eye out for the spiders when they come for you.
Once you've done that one, make your way around the snake, and you want to hang a right to find an incredibly camouflaged pattern. Give this one a scan. And this will give you the next one to number 24. This is purple, and then just behind you, and this is where you see the cut, and I reintroduce myself with the cat claw. Ta-da! So turn around and you want to take a look at the lift, and you want to use your newly found cat claw to go to the top. Once you're at the top, you want to take a left, and you will find another pattern etched into the wall.
This place is desolate.
And once you've got that, we're going to grab the last cave in the game. So fly your way over to the other side. Head on in and give it a bit of a light up. This is the last one. You'll net yourself 2 achievements here. One for finding all of the caves in the desert level, and one for actually finding every cave in the game altogether in a single playthrough. Okay, once you've done that, you want to make your way down to the bottom. So hit the switch to continue forwards. Okay, once you pass the snake, you want to follow the path around to the right, which is the main way forwards for the game. Head on down, and you're going to come into an area which has a lot of girders, like a bit of a grid here. And you want to hop on board, and you want to follow it around to the top right hand corner, and you will find memory number 3 in the game.
Glitch had been a part of the moon's personality, a cog in its machine and part of its totality. Together he was the machine and teacher, creating and straightening and caring for the creatures. Part of one being that was as old as ticking time, ruling through song and governing through rhyme, making the metal world safe for life to live. But what was his part? What piece had he to give? Because of his faults, the moon was evicted, with machines roaming the land and destroying unrestricted. He felt responsible, at the root of the evil that was wrought. He should try to fix it all, or this whole journey was for naught. Now, what does that tell us about Glitch?
Once you've done that, turn around, and you want to fly across the other side, or walk, depending on what you've got equipped. Once you're on the other side, you will find on the right wall another pattern called Pigeon. On Pigeon, you want to continue up the hill, and you want to follow it to the right, and as you're coming down here on the right, you will see another patch in the floor by the cactuses, and this one is called Hanky. Handy, not hanky. I do apologize. Continue forward and you'll come across another set of very large cactuses, and there is a slightly smaller one here which is a bit more camouflaged, and I go straight past it. But this one here you can actually stomp and scan too. This will give you the 28th out of 29 patterns for this level. Once we have that one, we want to backtrack a little bit, and we're going to make our way down to this area over here, and you can see the smoke rising just here on the right hand side. This is a sewing machine, so we want to hop into this one and we want to mix it up a little bit. So get on the sewing machine and you want to switch it over, and you want to have legs that jump and not stomp. Once you've got those equipped, you want to kind of progress a little bit further down here, and on the left hand side you're going to find an option to jump up to the next level. You want to hop on up and keep following the path up as far as you go. You will find another blueprint machine. Okay, so once you're at the top, you want to take a right and you want to make your way all the way down to the end, and just behind this rock here you are going to find the next blueprint system. Plug in glitch, and this is the last one in the game as well, and this is the last blueprint for this level. So you'll get yourself another 2 achievements here. You will get the one for finding all of the blueprints in the level, and one for finding all of the blueprints in a single playthrough of the game.
I admit, but be careful. Dangers lurk here.
Okay, once that's done, we want to head all the way down here, and we're going to hop down to the bottom again. We're going to need to go back and adjust our legs yet again, and we want the stomping legs this time. So make your way down. And once you're at the bottom, take a right and go back to the sewing machine.
Even facing this, color still survives. We might still have time.
Okay, once you've got your new legs equipped, fly on down. And you're going to find on the left hand side there is another stompable plant. And this plant will be the last pattern of the entire game. So that's quite a lot that we found altogether. So head down, and it's right at the very end by these switches here. You'll see it just in the dark section. Stop by this one, stomp your foot, give it a scan. That is pattern 29 out of 29. You are done here, and that is 2 more achievements for you. One for finding all of the patterns in the desert level, and another one for finding every pattern within the game in a single playthrough. Now once you've done that, you want to hit your switch, and it's going to take you all the way up to the top, and we're going to get the icons we need to solve this last puzzle. So once you reach the top, you will see the blue icon. You need to remember this one, and you'll see the red icon just down below. So you've got like the red rain cloud. I believe it's the same each time, and then you have the blue lines. So now I make a bit of a mistake here. I know, I do apologise. I send you guys to backtrack to actually go swap over the claw for a pushing hand. I should have picked up a pushing hand at the same time when I was adjusting the legs. I do apologise. So head back and you want to get the hand updated and then make your way back towards the puzzle that you were just looking at. Okay, so once you reach the puzzle, you want to head over to the actual system here and you'll be able to push these switches. So on the particular blue one, you're looking for something that's like a set of lines that looks like the letter Z or Z, depending on where you're from. Keep rotating it until eventually you get to it. It's not even a Z, it's a backwards L. But anyway, head over to the red one and you want to rotate that around until you got what looks like a red rain cloud.
Careful now. No
And once that one's in
error.
place, you just keep spinning around the yellow one until the game lets you progress forward.
With the power on, the spool started turning, generating more power as it picked up speed. They would need to use the scorpion's tail.
Okay, so now we need to solve the final spindle puzzle. So make your way over to the lift that goes up incredibly high. And I apologise again, I should have told you to equip the cat claw at this point. But make your way down and make your way back, and you want to use the large lift to take yourself all the way to the top.
Machines everywhere. My heart would weep.
Okay, so you want to stomp down on the button and summon your friend the scorpion. When he comes over, you'll need to do another spindle puzzle. So he comes around quite quickly this time. Hop on his back and you want to plug in glitch, and this is the final spindle puzzle of the area. And you need to make sure, as before, the diamonds are matching their appropriate background colors by moving them around the spindle.
This brought the moon into its final location. The ground trembled when the power lines descended, opening up the center that it had previously defended, where they would find the final station.
Okay, so once you've solved that spindle puzzle, we're going to move on to the next area. I'm going to take my hats off to the guys in the Alter Ego development team for this one. We spent ages trying to find this thing, and thank you again, like we say, for your support. So remember we mentioned earlier about the camouflage called stuffing, and that's a similar case to Chapter 2. You're going to need to actually camouflage yourself. So in the particular area there's normally a spider that would block you out. Now this entire level does not mention anything about using camouflage, so therefore you disregard it. Head over to the sewing machine and we want to equip the pattern called stuffing. It's under the other section and it'll be in the bottom left hand corner if you've been following along. And you want to coat Stuffy from it in head to toe. Once you've done that, you want to hop off the machine and you want to go down the ramp, and then on the right hand side you're going to see a set of trees. You want to walk into that area, and because you're now camouflaged with the floor, the spider will not attack you and he will not kick you out. So once you've done that, head down the ramp and you want to go between the trees over there. I have to say this collectible was up there with some of the hidden orbs that we did in Crackdown. Very good, very smart, well done guys, thank you. So follow the path all the way around and you want to take a right at the bottom here and you will find the 4th memory of the game.
A world of wool. It was a lie, a misdirection. At first glance the guys would fool but fail under inspection. How had he forgotten? How had he not known that this world with skin of quilt and cotton was metal to the bone? That veil of wool would soon be pulled aside. The world of metal and fabric would collide, and insects achieve their quest for fabricide, unless world and moon could be unified. It was good they had come this way.
And once you're done with that one, you want to fly down the pathway and you want to make your way out between the gap just here. You want to take a right and you want to go around the machine, and right by the final puzzle level, do not solve the puzzle first. Get your collectible first, because otherwise you can't come back and get it. Plug in glitch.
That teacher had failed. An error in a crucial part had led to all-out hostility, but as its song soured, it had seen the threat in all its probability. The core had itself ejected, sensing its main function was affected. But its plan had faltered. The machine
okay, so this is
down,
the last
they hadn't halted.
collectible of the game. You're going to net yourself the full 1000 G at this point. I'm still going to continue forward and show you the rest of the game and how to solve the final puzzles, because I'm nice like that. But this will bag you everything in the game. Now it's worth noting the next puzzle you'll solve, there is a point of no return. You cannot come back into here. You would have to start the entire game over. So make sure you have all of your collectibles first for this level before you leave. As you see, the achievements now pop. Now you want to make sure that you line up the tiles in the same way I do. They are not in the same position every single time. So stomp on your tiles, turn them around and make sure that they match the pattern that I have on the floor. Like I said though, solving this puzzle means you can't come back in and you need to reset the game in full to come back to actually play it again.
The machine seemed to harvest without order, without true intent. The moon had aligned perfectly above its rightful place and slowly started to descend with monumental grace. The heart of the world returned and then was made whole. They had returned the heart to the world, thereby fulfilling their role. Right? No! Take a number! Guess again! The moon glowed red and menacing. Something was wrong. A thrumming in the earth could be heard, the moon heart singing its song. Glitch could hear it speaking of order through destruction. This was not the same teacher that had given his instruction. This was why the moon had ejected itself, because it was broken, its song perverse. They had returned the heart to the world, unwhole, making things worse. Glitch realized this machine was not caring and kind. It was a broken heart. Glitch had to go underground and return the moon's vital missing part. Hatches had opened here and yonder. Insects marching for extermination. If they did not go forth now to save all life, they had simply sped up its damnation. Stuffy too would go into the hive, even if that meant risking his life. They entered a world of metal through and through. Shadows moved above them. What were they getting into? The metal insects were aimless automatons no more. If Glitch... This entire world was one big, intricate machine hive. And every part of it moved, turned, creaked, or squeaked as if it was alive. They could reach the moon from underneath, but would have to watch their step. This would be where the spiders slept. They knew the machines of this world were unversed, corrupt, and perverted, destroying, not creating, their function reversed and inverted. All wool the machines had gathered, ever since the time of woe, was being consumed by the fire that burned down below. Glitch had a suspicion, unspoken, a thing he greatly feared, that this wasn't just the wool of the land, but also of those that had disappeared. We should end this. Unaffected from the heart's red glow, a praying mantis kept doing its work with care. Glitch had seen it before, although it wasn't easy to recall when or where. It was at his birth, the first thing Glitch remembered seeing. This world's janitor, or some mysterious being. All was connected, one big machine world of steam and gear. It still estranged Glitch. It seemed they had found the final resting place of all Stuffy's kind, taken away from their wool when long ago they were trapped. Their eyes sorted, stored, and kept. They had stumbled into the spider's hive. They had to run, or they would not survive. They ran past the door when it suddenly slammed shut. It would delay the spiders, but they would try to find a shortcut. There was no telling what to thank for their sudden rescue, or how long its metal would last. What was left was to go up, to try to save the future.
Okay, so this is the final stretch to the end of the game. Just before I sign off, I just want to say a huge thank you to the guys over at Alter Ego Games for sorting us out with early access and supporting us. Follow the path forward and you guys will be done. I've been Jastic here from the Achievement Squad. If you've guys found this guide useful, drop us a like, comment and subscribe. And happy hunting. Thank you very much.
Was it the final chord? The machine was running wild. Something had to be done. But there was not enough time, for the spiders had come. It was over. But Stuffy wasn't up for that. He might not be the brightest bulb in this shed, but he knew when to do the right thing. Glitch saw his friend run with dread. But because Stuffy went to distract the spiders, Glitch just had time to plug himself in. He had to. He had to! Stuffy was torn apart, into a million pieces chopped. When the spiders stopped, their claws dropped. The heart of the world made whole. The kind teacher once again in control. The initial glitch mended, the conflict could now be ended. All over the world this happened, as machines were returned to their purpose true, to create, to guard and repair creatures, and Woolen World too. So, what about Stuffy's kind? Thousands of woolen bodies mislaid. In storage, the teacher found the souls of all harvested Stuffies carefully displayed. No pair of eyes had ever been destroyed in those 100 years of strife. It was time to return them all to life. And so life was returned to a world that would otherwise have been bared to its parts. It shows how far you can come with a little courage and just enough smarts. Never give doubt the chance to discourage you, and don't let fear stop you. Never, ever.